Yo, what is up, guys? Earl DFS coming back with another NHL video, and today we've got a 7-game slate for NHL today. One of the final days before NBA returns from their All-Star break, so bigger contests for NHL. So definitely, this next few days are the days to be playing fancy hockey. The Mini Max has really nice payouts tonight. They got 1,000 to first, which is normal. 750 to second, 500 to third, 325 to fourth, 200 to fifth, 175 to sixth. So the payouts are looking really nice tonight for the mini max that I'm going to be maxing out. So hopefully we can have a good slate here. And let's get right into it. We have a 7-game slate to get through. So let's start it off. Toronto Maple Leafs, Pittsburgh Penguins, 3.48 for the Penguins, 3.02 for the Leafs. Matt Murray, Frederik Andersen, and Nets. The 3.48 total for the Penguins is the second highest, only behind the Blues. So something to keep in mind there. And on the Toronto side, I'm going to be looking at Toronto 2 more than Toronto 1. I like the Tavares Nylander Kerfoot line. It's cheaper. It's $17,000 compared to $21,300 for that top line, and it allows you to build around it better. Also, the Tavares Nylander Kerfoot line is also if the Marner Matthews Hyman line is 10% owned, and it is anywhere from 3 to 5%. It usually gets about half to a third of the ownership as that top line. So I like targeting that line a little bit more just because it helps you get different. It's cheaper, and I think it'll be possibly the better scoring line of the night. And you can also power play stack this if you want. On the slate out of 14 teams, Pittsburgh ranks 9th in total time in the penalty kill. So it's not a team I want. I'm not going to get an obsessive amount of power play stacks, but if you want to do some type of combination of Nylander, Tavares, Matthews, Marner, and Barry for that top power play, if you want to try to get different, maybe like a Marner, Tavares, Nylander, leave off Matthews. That'll help you get different. I wouldn't suggest that completely because Matthews is the best player on this team, but is something to look at if you're looking to power play stack and try to get a little cheaper. That is one way to get at it. I'll be getting to a little bit of Tampa Bay defensemen, probably a little bit of Muzzin, Dermott's min price, and I'm probably going to get to Barry. On the other side, we have Pittsburgh here, 3.48 implied total, really, really nice total. Except for I'm not going to be getting to any power play stacks for Pittsburgh, mainly because Toronto averages out of these 14 teams the least amount of penalty kill minutes per game. So the opportunities for a power play goal are going to be few and far between. So I'm going to be getting to more full line stacks for this game. Some Crosby, Zucker, Simone. I like a little bit more than Russ, Malkin, and McCann. But I'll probably be getting to both those lines. If we look here, let's see where I got 9% for each team. That's going to go up. Those are just my original crunches. So I definitely like being able to do that. And I do want to get to some defensemen. Toronto gives up a lot of points to defensemen, so I'm going to probably get to a decent amount of Letang, some Schultz, and maybe some Peterson on that second line, and some Johnson. Overall, I'm probably going to get to a decent amount of defensemen for Pittsburgh tonight. On to the next game here. Columbus Blue Jackets, Philadelphia Flyers, 2.51 for the Blue Jackets, 2.99 for the Flyers. This is kind of the game I want to just throw away. But it's going to be interesting. Elvis Merkelins, Carter Hart, and net. For the Columbus side, I'll be getting to a little bit of like Columbus 3 with Bemstrom, Du Bois, and Milano. Bemstrom on the top power play, and you can run some type of mixed power play stack here. They just have them all over the place, though. Borkstrand, Foligno, sorry, Bemstrom and Du Bois, and then they have Wierenski down here. But I probably will get to a little bit of Columbus power play stacks out of the 14 teams. Philadelphia ranks 6th. They have the 6th the most time per game on penalty kill. They average around 7.6 minutes of penalty kill per game, so about 4 penalties. So that's just something to keep an eye out for. So it's not going to be an overwhelming amount of opportunities, but it's not going to be terrible if you want to power play stack this Columbus team. I'm getting to a decent amount of them right now, but that's going to change throughout the day because I do not like this game at all. I don't like that top line. I'll probably X out that top line probably of Borkstrand, Stenlund, and Nyquist completely because they're going up against that top line for Philadelphia, which is one of the best defensive in hockey. They're not the they're not Bergeron, Pastrnak, and Martian level, but they are really, really good defensively. Courtier leading that line is very good defensively. For the Philadelphia side, I'm going to be getting to that top line though for playing them. I'll probably get to a little bit of Konechny, Hayes, and Farabee line, along with some defensemen here. I'm going to be getting to probably more Columbus defensemen just because they're cheaper and they provide more value, in my opinion. Savard at 3,800 is not terrible. Wierenski at 61, his price has gone up since the Seth Jones injury. But he's definitely getting more minutes. He's getting, I think, around 26, 23, 24, 24. So you are getting good minutes for him. I do like him. And then probably like a Peak, Andrew Peak here. As a min-price defenseman. On the other side, for defenseman, I like Provorov. He's just consistent. He plays every game. He's puts up points. So it's not a terrible option there. He's consistent, 17, 10, 17. So he can get you those points. 5,200 is not a terrible price for him as well. And maybe a little bit of Sanheim. But on to our next game. Buffalo Sabres, Ottawa Senators. 3 implied for both these teams. Carter Hutton, Craig Anderson in net. And I really like the Buffalo side for this. Ottawa spends the 3rd highest amount of time out of these 14 teams in the penalty kill. So that means I really love the power play stacks for Buffalo today. Give me Reinhart, Eichel, Olofsson, Johansson, 3,500, part of a full line power play stack. I love it. Throw Dahlin in there as well. I'll be getting to basically the top line for Buffalo and power play stacks, and that's just about it. If Sheary scores, Skinner scores, whatever, oh well. I'm not getting to much of them at all. It's basically top line for Buffalo, a little bit of a power play or bust. I'm getting to a decent amount of Montour and probably a little bit of Dahlin as well. Let's take a look at my defenseman. See where my exposures lie. Roman Josi up there. Montour, 13%. And I don't know where my Dahlin is at 5%. Okay. That'll probably go up as we go a little bit further through the day. On the other side, I really like the top line for Ottawa. I like how they reconstructed it, moved Tkachuk up to that top line of Peggio and Duclair. I really like that top line. I'll probably get to a decent amount of them. They're playing Buffalo is not a great defensive team, so definitely a line I want to target here. And for Buffalo, they're middle of the pack with penalties, so it's not like I want to get to like power play stacks with this Ottawa team. So I don't think Shabbat will get you minutes, but he's not someone that I'm going to be playing for power plays. He has gotten points in the last 3 games, so that's something nice to see. But overall, I'm going to be getting to basically top line. Shabbat is going to be with that top line, and maybe a little bit DeMello. Nothing crazy though. That's about all from that game. Basically, top lines are bust. On to the next game, the Montreal Canadiens, Detroit Red Wings. 3.23 for the Canadiens, 2.27 for the Red Wings. Carey Price, Jonathan Bernier. And I'm going to be getting to a decent amount of this top line. Gallagher, Donat, and Tatar. They got the power play correlation. Detroit spends the 5th most time in the penalty kill out of these 14 teams. So I'm going to be getting to a decent amount of that top line. I'll get to a little bit of this Suzuki Armia line. Nothing insane now, but I do like that top line Gallagher, Donat, Tatar, maybe with a little bit of Jeff Petrie. And we can go maybe with a Sherrod there too. But I'm definitely looking at that top line against this very bad Detroit team. But on the Detroit side, a contrarian play could be doing this top line for Detroit. Larkin, Fabry, and Mantha. So they're all power play correlated. Montreal is middle of the pack with power plays, but these guys are playing or they're skating together regardless. You can throw Hornick in there or Green. Green won't get you that power play correlation, but he'll probably have lower ownerships in stacks of Larkin, Fabry, and Mantha just because he's not on the same power play. People will want to go to Hornick. So the second line is not terrible either. Bertuzzi leading that line is kind of nice. But I'm going to be getting to more of that top line for Detroit rather than the second line. On to the 8 o'clock games. The 8 o'clock games. We have 3 8 o'clock games, and then that's it for the slate. We have the LA Kings taking on the Winnipeg Jets. 2.43 for the Kings, 3.07 for the Jets. Connor Hellebuyck versus Jonathan Quick. I think Hellebuck's my top exposed goalie. If not, he's definitely my top 3. I have 3 goalies that I'm going after today: Bennington, Price, and Hellebuyck. So those are my huge exposure goalies for today. But I definitely like this second line for Winnipeg, Lane, Wheeler, Connor. That Scheifele, Ehlers, Kopp lineup is not terrible either, or that line is not bad either. But I prefer to get to that second line for a full line stack and maybe some Scheifele one-offs or Eller one-offs. I like that the second line is probably going to go up against this Kempe, Carter, and Frk line. So that's just a great matchup for them. So I'm hoping for a couple full line goals from this Lane, Wheeler, Connor line. I think I'm getting to a decent amount of them. 7% winning Winnipeg. That's going to go up. I can promise you that. So that's just something to look at. I like Poink with that power play stack. LA is actually really good at not going on power plays. They have the second least time right behind the Maple Leafs for penalty kill minutes. So it's not like the Jets will get a lot of power play opportunities tonight. But I think when they do, they will capitalize. So I do like Winnipeg for today, even though they have a low total. They have a nice matchup against LA at home. and I definitely like a lot of Connor Hellebuck. But on to the next game. Carolina Hurricanes, Nashville Predators, 2.89 for the Hurricanes, 3.11 for the Preds. Peter Mrazek, Pekka Rinne going for the goalies. I really like, now that they've moved them all together, I really like this top line for Carolina, the Svechnikov, Teravainen, Aho line. It's definitely a line I'm going to target a little bit tonight. I don't know if I'm getting too much of Carolina. Right now it's 6%. That may go up to like 8 or 9%, but I'm only getting to that top line. I might throw maybe a Justin Williams in there for power play correlation, or maybe just like a Jacob Slavin. If you want to go cheaper with this Svechnikov, Teravainen, Aho line, and you don't want to go Slavin, Van Riemsdyk is not a bad option too. He's part of that top pairing, which can add a little bit of correlation with lower ownership because he's not on that top power play. So there's just something to keep in mind if you want to save $2,500. Van Riemsdyk with a Svechnikov, Aho, Teravainen stack is not terrible. On the Nashville side, and Nashville gives up a lot of penalty minutes. They're second highest right behind the Devils. So a power play stack is actually a really nice way to go here, whether it's a Svechnikov, Teravainen, Aho, Williams, Slavin stack, or if you want to go cheaper, you can go Halua, Nikas, and Niederreiter with a Jake Gardiner and a Ryan Dzingel. But I would prefer to go to top power play unit. So that's what I have for Carolina. It's basically Svechnikov, Teravainen, Aho, and then Jacob Slavin, Van Riemsdyk, maybe some Brett Pesce and Jake Gardiner. Probably not too much. On the Nashville side, I'm liking Craig Smith as a one-off. He had a hattie the other day in the last time he played, I believe. No, 3 games ago. He had a hat trick against the Islanders. But overall, mix and match here. These top 2 lines for power plays and stuff like that. If you want to go Forsberg, Turris, Granlund, Arvidsson, Johansson, or Duchesne, you can do that. Carolina is 4th on total penalty kill minutes, so it's someone you can target. They will get opportunities. They average around 8.2 minutes of penalty kill a game, Carolina, which equals about 4 opportunities for basically for the Predators to score a power play goal. It's just mix and match and hope you get it right. And now we're on to our final game of the slate. This will be my highest exposed game for sure. New Jersey Devils, St. Louis Blues, 2.26 for the Devils, 3.74 for the Blues, a minus 250. Damn. Jordan Binnington, Mackenzie Blackwood. I'm getting to a little bit of, for the New Jersey side, I'm getting to New Jersey 2. I had to limit that because the projections were popping off the page because the line's cheap and they're projected okay. But we're definitely getting to New Jersey 2, probably more than New Jersey 1, but I'm not hoping not to get to too much of them. I'm at 13% right now. That's going to go down to single digits because I like Jordan Binnington as my top goalie. I think I got to around 30-something% of him, or 28, my bad. So getting to a lot of him. New Jersey gives up the most, or has the most penalty kill minutes per game this season out of these 14 teams on the slate. So they're definitely a team I want to target with power play stacks. So I'm getting a lot of Schwenn, Schwartz, O'Reilly, Paradin lines, power play stacks with Pietrangelo. I like just a ton of Blues tonight. I like the Sanford, O'Reilly, Paradin line. This Bozak, I don't remember who it was earlier, but let's Let's take a look who they had earlier. Or did they have the same earlier? They had Bozak. Okay. So I definitely that actually creates a little bit more value for that line. So I like that a little bit more. He is on the power play 2 unit. So, but I do like Sanford. He had the hat trick a few games ago against Vegas. He had 4 goals. My bad, and he's been playing really well ever since. So O'Reilly is someone I probably want to get to, or Sanford, O'Reilly, pairing in line. It's going to be my top if I would go a full line stack, but I want to go more power play stacks for this game than anything. And then some Petrangelo, some Parico for defenseman. For New Jersey, maybe some Severson and some Subban for defenseman. But other than that, I'm not that interested in the New Jersey side. So basically for today, I like St. Louis, Carolina 1, give me some Montreal 1, Buffalo 1, and Toronto 2. But that is going to do it for this video. I want to thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow in the next video.